Hello and welcome. Alan Plum here again with a little more from Shed Engineering. Now this is just a quick follow on from the waterfall, stream, weir and pond ideas and experiments where I've been trying to use cheap everyday things you should have around the house or easily available. Now in that last video I demonstrated a pond with just a plain sheet of acetate laid over it, and in actual fact it was very pretty with the lovely reflections it gave, but you could see right to the bottom, which was one problem, and for me the surface was just too perfect. I think you need a few lines or tiny little ripples. So as you can see here, I've used some rocket card glue. I'm sure PVA would do just as well, although it might take a little longer to dry. And I'm gluing a sheet of cling film to the acetate sheet. Then I've just using some cheap poster paint and stippling that on, trying to get it darker in the centre and light around the outsides, but not a full block colour. As you can see, I'm stippling it very gently and I'm actually leaving it to dry for a while because obviously on the cling film you intend to sort of move it and rub it off. This is the foam filler I used on a previous demonstration. It also shows how nicely it's stuck considering it's onto polythene. And remember, it's only very thin, but look how flexible it is. So I'm just using that, salvaged, as I say, from a previous demonstration, just to put around the pond to try and give you an idea. Now obviously that's straight down onto plywood, so you're getting the colour of the plywood showing through there. I think possibly if you just painted a grey patch on your baseboard, I'm sure that would be perfectly alright. Now I'm going to try and just show this from many different angles so that you can try and get a reasonable impression. You can see the little lines from the cling film. I'm sure if you put a swan or a little duck against any of those lines, it'd look very realistic with the lines across the top of the water. You do get some little bubbles, but I think they're perfectly acceptable. They just look like little ripples or imperfections in the surface. And obviously with the acetate sheet being absolutely smooth on top, you're still getting that lovely clear reflection. So I'm just taking that away. That gives you an idea of the density of the paint that I've put on. This is the dugout pond, which I say I don't think you actually need. I think you could go straight onto a baseboard and just experiment with different colours, possibly a grey colour or something like that. But here I'm just putting it over the dugout pond, which is obviously, as you've seen, already painted as well. I'll just try and give some close-ups again that just show them little tiny lines, but you've still got the reflection and it looks as if you've got weed growing underneath the surface. And I say, if you've got a little duck or something like that, or a moorhen, it'd look though a moorhen had sort of shot across the top of the water, leaving a little bit of a wake. Can I also just say here a thank you to everyone who's commented and contributed ideas on previous videos. It's good to get your feedback and know that it's of interest. But I'm just trying to experiment, keeping it as simple as possible. While the liquid plastics can make some brilliant water effects, well, that's if you know what you're doing and you can get the best out of them. With something like this, you have no worries of the liquid leaking out before it's set, and as you can see, it's cheap, simple and pretty darn quick. So that's about it. I hope you found it of interest. Thank you to all the new subscribers, that's very much appreciated. And remember, if you want updates, click the little cogwheel next to the subscribe banner. I'm actually quite pleased with that. It really does give the impression of weeds under the surface. Not bad for a quick 20-minute pond. I hope you think so as well. Anyway, there we go. And as always, many thanks for watching.